Welcome back to NieR. So now let's see the changes that happened in the Shadowlord's castle in the Route B. Starting
Played by me.
with the
Played
walls
by
room.
you?
Well, I will ask Pedro to voice the shades because we can hear a voice for this particular part. Just check in the top left corner. In case you're wondering, Jova, because you asked me before, the reason why you're appearing as Ghost, I don't know. It's probably explained, but in case I haven't checked. I think it's still a side effect of the Project Gestalt thing. I will elaborate more in some things during the credit sequence.
And somewhere in here you can see Anton and Sophia dancing.
Too soon, Pedro. Too soon.
Wait, too soon? What do you mean too?
Hey, it's a way of saying it in the internet, don't worry.
Okay, I feel it must be something that I'm missing because I don't think that expression really fit here.
No, just don't worry, Pedro. It's not offensive.
No, I'm not saying it's offensive. I'm just saying I
Anyway.
don't understand the meaning. But go ahead, go ahead.
It's okay.
Oh, this is a holy sanctuary for humans. Leave at once, please.
And that's why they were locked in. They wanted to kill them because they're actually disrupting their place.
This sanctuary must remain under our protection.
You will not interrupt our dance!
It's our final bastion.
You need a hollow bastion
For the sake of those we love,
to protect the world from devastation.
we will not allow it to be destroyed.
Then just dance instead of trying to kill.
No, please. The last thing I want is a cross.
But you cannot. I'm sorry, Mr. Exion, but I cannot. For the mere presence of you here already sullies our sanctuary, so you must die.
So it's gonna be a dance to the death, isn't it?
Because this game had not enough references to Kingdom Hearts already.
Oh, you actually got that one.
Well, it's obvious.
Oh yeah.
Surprisingly enough, Jova, I
the
prefer
MLP
that.
movie feels very Kingdom Hearts.
Surprisingly enough, Jova, I prefer that that track over the Desire for All It's Lost.
I'm a big fan of The Other Promise, specifically the orchestral version. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, good old 1.5 and 2.5. Although admittedly their soundtracks kind of have that problem with the Crash Insane trilogy in that while a lot of the remixes sound great and awesome, admittedly some don't sound as good as the original.
I disagree because one has uncompressed instrumentation.
Well,
No, it's not that, Shiroi.
well,
It's not- it's not
Shiroi-
some-
You guys on about?
It's
Anyway.
not Kingdom Hearts clips. Well, Shiroi, here's the thing you have to remember. See, the problem is that, for example, to give you an idea, I dislike. Okay, dislike is too strong a word. I don't particularly care much for the 2.5 version. Sorry, the 1.5 version of
Squirming Evil?
no, Vector to the Heavens.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, because I fucking love the original DS track. It's one of my favorite video game boss tracks ever. Not just because it sounds great, but because it's a perfect example of music storytelling, where Yoko Shimomura perfectly sums up the story situation of that particular boss battle via the way the song is structured. It's a great example of why Yoko Shimomura is such a genius. However, they messed with the tempo in the HD version, and it doesn't sound nearly as good. But anyway, cutscene.
Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, the shades say that under that, behind that door, there's their most precious treasure, and what they mean by that is the bomb shade. In case you haven't noticed, for the comparison, the bomb shades are actually infants.
What?
Oh yes,
We're killing babies now.
we're killing toddlers. How's that for your night tonight?
Why are the
this is
babies
actually-
so explosive?
Okay, now this is really starting to test the whole darkness out. Babies now, really?
Wow.
You know what next? What next? Are you gonna have us literally blow up a nursery while you're at it?
Well, we essentially are since they're bombs.
The New Game Plus has told me that you've done horrible things, that you've killed killed younglings.
Also, Dribs. I mean, if all the
There you go. They're just saying it.
They're just babies. They don't know any better.
Why
You
no one thinks
monster.
about the children?
Oh,
We waited for so
Would
long,
someone please
and
pick
now
up
we
the
can,
children?
and now we can finally recreate them.
Oh God, they can actually procreate.
Anyway,
No,
Dribs,
no,
since the infants
we
are
cannot
here, then this
refuse it.
kind of means that this place is a nursery. Kinda? Maybe?
Yeah, pretty much.
And we just killed their parents, didn't we?
Also that too.
Huh.
I'm not
Every
stopping.
man, woman, and child.
So how's all that love for you?
And yeah, Kaine's been knocked down again.
Gotta
Oh,
get
remember,
back
we already
home.
know why she keeps coming back, because that shade is protecting her.
And that's why they're fusing into goose. Because they're so desperate, they will do anything to protect the babies.
So the baby's confused with them.
And thus, Jova, also, the name of the shades makes a lot of sense, because it's based on Mother Goose.
Yep.
Mommy, stay with me, mommy.
I had to mute the video for a reason, but Tia, were those the ones that had that screech that I didn't really like?
No.
No.
No,
Yeah.
no. Aren't we
Oh,
done
yeah?
with that? I'm pretty sure we're
Yeah.
done with that.
Hold on, go ahead, Pedro.
Oh, there can be no justice in the slaughter of innocents. How many have you killed? How many? Your actions can never be forgiven.
So
We
that's
actually
why
lost
this.
count of how many we killed, I think.
And
So
that's
the-
why, and remember, Jova, that's why Kainen was responding to him in the first run.
And that's
Yeah.
why this particular shade was so determined compared to the rest, because...
Exactly. He will just not stop. And even Tyrant is noticing something.
Uh-oh.
What, does she change her heart in like
Just listen.
It's love.
No.
Kill some shit and move on, all right?
I agree with Kaine. I think at this point, Tyrant is just getting to a point where he finds Kaine so fascinating that that he's gonna allow her to continue, existing just so he can see where this goes.
Funny you mentioned that, Pedro, but we'll save that for ending C&D.
Yeah, you might want to turn
Armor.
around.
There we go. Yeah, just
And
like
now-
before, we need to wait to kill it one more time and then wait for the door to be open.
Kill it. Kill it
Yeah,
with
there we go.
fire.
I'm modifying the words for my payment so that it's more easy to break the armor.
I wonder whether we should have just took our audio from the last time we did this boss battle and put it over here.
No, dude, because
That
there are some
wouldn't
things
have
that
worked.
change.
Also, you could say that about a lot of the fights here, and it still wouldn't work.
Yeah.
The point is to see the other perspective.
Yeah,
Also, I'm surprised that you whips. That would be quite lazy of us.
Indeed. We can't have that now.
Funny though.
there you go. We'll trying to peel as much armor as possible. There you go. Without this armor, it goes the way down like in an instant. Especially since, again, new game class and everything.
I think you've heard it in more ways than one.
There you go. If you wait long enough, the poison fog actually shows out that colors the ambient.
No, don't fall victim to such distractions.
Come on, we have to keep going. Move it.
Don't worry, I've got my magical red blades of spinning.
The weird, yeah, the moving fan. And there you go. I peeled away all the armor.
Time to go.
And the level exploded.
Yeah, I remember every time he regenerates, he does that flashbang kind of like effect.
Well, we got out of there at least.
Mm-hmm.
Up here.
Yeah. Too bad we need to redo the whole Crash Bandicoot chase thing.
Fun.
I feel, well, Joe, I think the unbearable music is more fitting,
Oh.
especially since it's far more scarier.
Yeah.
Seriously, the first time I actually said like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That reminds me of another remix I feel doesn't work as well. the one for the boulder chasing in the remake, remake, it just doesn't have the same weight or base to it as the original
Damn it, I
did.
can't get it open.
I wonder what tracks you do like from that one, Joe.
Oh, I love the Crash Bandicoot
shit.
3 boss. Whoa.
Hold on, give a second, Jova. Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, wait, that's a C?
No, Baba Goose.
Oh, god dang.
Hell are usually female, Joe.
Hell hath no fury like a
There
woman
you go, she now
scorned.
scolding Tyrant.
Hate is just another crutch for me.
Shiva, you're forgetting that Clockman's mom.
Oh, snap.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that actually.
Aw, Tyrant's just lonely.
Oh, but it's okay, Jova.
Tyrant is speechless. Kiney, nothing, but I can barely hear you over the
Strike the beast while it's down.
Let's just take that as foreshadowing. Because remember, we're not done yet.
We must protect stuff.
Let me guess. Tyrant fell in love with Kanye or some shit.
Nah.
Oh
I mean,
god,
they-
no,
they-
page,
Hold on, Jova. They are kindred spirits, but not in that regard.
Besides, we don't need another video game where the protagonist falls in love with their arm.
Well, it wasn't technically that, Jova, but yeah. Anyway. We...
Ow.
Edge with the spear.
Does Edge actually have a theme or something?
I'm
Pedro?
surprised this one gave you so much
Yeah.
trouble.
On this day.
No, Pedro, don't. You'll get this flagged for copyright.
That's okay, dude. It's fine when I sing it. Unleash the exit wall.
Yeah. It's the same. I think it's the same dialogue for with the Prince, the Advisor, and Papa NieR. It was just for the sake of having the fight complete.
To give you an idea of how funny it is, too, when Edge shows up, this is literally how your stream starts. You think you know me?
He's had that theme since 2004.
And to be honest, Rips, would you have it any other way?
His other themes are alright. It's just that one's the most iconic for him.
Exactly.
It's
For one theme tune, Pedro, he had a Rob Zombie song.
I kinda saw already at least a clip with Edge due to other reasons we will see later in another commentary, but I didn't know that much about it now. Okay. There we go. So there you go, Pajova. At the end, the prince managed to repay his debt.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Stop! Let me go! Stop it! King!
We'll meet again, you and I, once all of this is over.
I will be walking the dawn of light.
I read the script.
We'll meet again.
You can't
Don't
fight
know
them on your
where.
own.
Don't know when.
Yeah.
You must once again know the joy of living. Blah blah blah. You must. Basically, let me just sum this up. Let me just sum this up. NieR, you are my best friend. Because of you, I've learned that being nice is nice and that being evil is evil. You must live, NieR. You must live.
How do you remember all those things?
Do not despair, my. Oh, go ahead.
We are with you.
I know. Let's try this again.
Ironic.
By the honor of the mask!
For the honor of the king! For the honor of the queen! The only difference now is that, well, first we'll see, okay, even Papa NieR grieving and kinda actually put some fucking sense into him.
Come on.
But we'll see actually now the aftermath of that.
He's fighting for you.
Oh,
And for fear.
Yes, we do.
this isn't gonna be clean.
Sadly, we don't see there are no changes for the Devil and Popola second fight, so we skip directly to the aftermath.
Well, this is not good.
It's not pleasant, Shiro, trust me.
It's not going well, is it?
Nope.
Let's see,
Let's just say
they're
that the
dead.
Facadians part of the story. Oh god, Pedro.
You
You took the lives of our family. Next line.
You're kind of hard to kill, aren't you?
Yeah, the designers designed me to be a spawn. Demon, you stole our children's future!
Stop talking and get over here.
Get over here!
Well, I am in the process of doing so, and...
Well, let's see.
Well, he is now officially jelly.
There you go. He actually managed to strike the beast inside the head.
You.
You can die now.
There we go. Nice and slowly, because we need
my permission to die.
That sound too.
My only
Yeah.
regret is not... Oh,
He did it.
What's your regret? What is it?
sorry, Dwebs, he died before we could hear it.
Unfortunately, the wounds are too grave for the king itself.
I like how he'd already stabbed the thing, but thought, nah, I'm just gonna push this in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Coming for you.
So there you go. The king and his man are no more.
Holy crap.
So,
Again, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm starting to really see why Yoko Taro really loved Final Fantasy 15.
well, the king
So
is
now
dead.
we change to the Shadow. So Dwebs, since it's based on Papa NieR, you're gonna voice him.
Okie dokie. Sleep well, my pretty.
Remember at this point, hold on. Dwebs?
Soon my body will arrive. Then we can be together like before.
Yeah, remember at this point, Yona is the Yona we're seeing technically has her Gestalt inside her. Unfortunately, since the catalyst didn't join, that effect could not work because the quote-unquote part of a replicant was still actively fighting over. Kind of like when the body rejects an organ that's been transplanted without checking if it's compatible.
Oh
we have to
yeah,
go through the song and dance again.
oh yeah,
Trust
that's
me,
right.
it's important for it's important for any C&D, please.
No, I was doing it as Kaine.
I think that's what he's talking about too.
Please remember, this is right after Emil sacrificed himself.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's just move on, please.
Years. My knees are jelly at this point.
Just a little bit more for your daughter.
Then crawl.
Such sympathy I get from you bastards.
Come on, NieR. Let's go. I have more balls than you, literally.
Oh, come on!
Well, that was called for, Shiro.
It was kind of called for. I mean, you're gonna tell me that if Kaine was okay with telling him about it, she wouldn't have said that.
I know, right?
Fair enough.
Oh, don't mind me, Kanye. I just wanted to do some target practice.
Especially remember we have the last round of shades.
Yeah, fuck you, Shades. I've got spitty red blade fake.
Spin to win.
Always.
You know, it's a shame the Shadow Lord never just told the Shades, hey, my other body's coming here as kind of a shade-killing machine. Maybe you might want to stay out of his way.
But
Oh,
they'll
that's
kill
the
us
thing.
anyway, sir.
That's the thing, Joba. Remember, at start, the shades did not even attack you.
Huh.
So it's ironically enough something that Papa NieR brought onto himself. It's similar to the cycle between the wolves and the Fasadians. It's just something that neither parts actually understood correctly and just ended up in this vicious cycle of violence. Alright, here we go. Well, almost.
This is gonna suck.
Nearly there.
Any minute now.
We'll get there soon, I promise.
Just after a bit more of a bloodbath.
Dweebs, in a few hours the sun will rise.
What's that from again?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah,
Bridge.
Oh,
But essentially,
well-
Little Kuribo made it kind of like a catchphrase for Tristan.
Technically, it was already in the focus, but yeah, yeah.
Here we go.
Open Sesame.
And once again, it makes so much. It's so symbolic the fact that the final boss room is essentially a theater room.
Looks more like someone's conference hall to me.
The conference room was the one with Devil and Popa. This one has the screen. It's just it doesn't have the seats in proper order.
You'll have to watch the movie standing, Dwebs.
Denied.
Maybe it's a drive-in or something.
Sit on the floor.
That's cute.
Nah, and now, NieR, now that my body's about to perish, you and I will have to join together.
No.
Oh, please.
No.
It would save humanity. Oh wait, you don't
I've had
know
enough
that.
of people possessing shit for one lifetime.
Then you must find a shrubbery.
What the hell's a fucking shrubbery?
But you don't know what a shrubbery is?
No.
Alright, there are no major changes for the Grimoire Noir boss fight, so that's why I'm also disposing him relatively quickly. Oh, just shut up, DC.
Don't speak
Yeah.
in such a manner.
Shut the fuck up.
I am nothing like you.
God, I hate when he does the back attack, so it's just it just bounces you around with balance. Yeah, we get it, guys.
It's coming.
There we go.
Take that.
Be careful.
Alright,
Master.
take note on the top left corner, please. But for now, it's Tyrant talking. Hmm.
Are you the heart police or something?
Hmm.
Hey, Tyron, can we save this conversation for after we're done saving the world? Well, actually, never mind. Dooming the world?
Whoa,
So he
he's
said
got a
that,
lightsaber.
Wait till I'm
So
dead. and you'll have
he
all
said
the-
that. Yeah, hold on.
You're not the only voice in my life anymore. I've spent time with others.
What?
I'm a curse. I know that. He knows it too. But guess what? He still accepts me. He still forgives me.
But you haven't told him your deepest secret that you're a hermaphrodite.
I'm tired of this battle and everybody in it. I'm becoming a sword. One
Do it
last
for
time.
her like you do it for
Oh
him.
yeah, sure. Now you speak up.
Vice, you alright?
Naturally, I'm as fit as a fit.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
In the strictest sense.
I purposely portrayed the battles just to hear this dialogue because they're important and they're also funny. But again, since a new game class, essentially.
Which
Go
of
ahead.
course means that when I get to the final boss of Shadow the Hedgehog in our playthrough, I'm gonna have to stay there for like 10 minutes.
Alright. Now it's time
Hello.
to exercise Yona. But let's see, we need to hear also what the Shadow Lord thinks in all of this.
Oh, I exercise, Yona. 1, 2, 3, 4.
30 laps around this room.
Well, you
Remember
can't
the
leave.
exit, stage right.
hurts, doesn't it?
You know, it hurts a lot.
Yona!
Stop. Please. I don't want this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it.
You know, honey, you probably should have told us this before.
Someone else? No, Yona, they were here to begin with.
I can hear her. She keeps crying. She says she wants to see her dad.
Yona's been possessed?
This girl loves her father too, as much as I do. She loves him just as much.
Couldn't I just possess someone who was already dead?
Right that she can't see him.
It's like the host.
Yeah. Yona, stop, please. And this sucks to everybody else. It's all been eerie for the last 5 years.
Dad?
Oh.
Yeah, that's my headcanon. The music's totally driving people insane.
Yes, I am. Let's go home.
No!
Essentially, that's what's gonna happen.
Yes, we know.
You know what this reminds me to? Sorry.
Stop! Listen to me! Yoda, please!
There you go. In in the last moments, he can see his daughter. He cannot even stretch his face to show actually the pain he's feeling.
Yet he'll be able to get up well enough to thrash
It's
on us.
literally a case of I have no mouth and I must scream.
My face is broken, you bitch!
I don't know what to. I'm so very sorry.
Since when were we vampires?
I love you, Dad. I love you.
And there you go.
Damn.
Hurry. The shade that possessed her is gone.
No!
No.
Ding. And there you go.
Now we can get up.
Check the top left corner, Dweebs.
Yona, why?
Watch over
She
Yona.
told you why.
You want me to understand your sadness? You
Well,
think
fuck
I'm
you, I
gonna
ain't doing it.
sympathize with you?
I can sympathize with you, but I'm not
I
gonna do
swore
that.
to protect my daughter and my friends. If someone puts them in danger, they must stand aside or be cut down. Come on, let's go.
Dang.
No!
Ow.
By the way, I tell you know what this subplot reminds me of?
Go ahead.
Reminds me, especially this scene that we just. Oh.
Go ahead. This is the same cutscene as before.
It reminds me, especially of that cutscene that we just had with the daughter saying goodbye. Reminds me a lot of Merlina saying goodbye to her father at the end of Eternal Devil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kinda.
It's
Supposed
kind
to
of
involve possession of some sort.
and the father doing everything in his possession to revive. Yeah, it's very similar actually. Now that I think about
The
it.
themes. Well, Japanese kind of love this kind of trope of fathers trying to do their best to keep their family in check and everything.
They're both two different but very good takes on it, I think.
Go out of the way. I have one final task to fulfill.
Where are you going?
Why to stop him, of course. But after that, it's up to you. Only you can see this battle to its conclusion. I wish you luck, my friend.
NieR, you must live.
I swore to fight by your side.
Unfortunately, Pedro, there's no Megazord form with the temples that we visited.
You know that, don't you? Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Vice!
By the way, Vice, could you give him a piece of my mind to that scary book from the Care Bears movie?
Well, forget it. I've grown rather fond of Vice.
Is there any particular difference in this cutscene from the last time we saw it?
No. I just kept it because it was part of a normal course and might as well.
Fair enough.
Because now there's the dialogue, the final dialogue change with the Shadow Lord in the final fight, and then we see ending B.
Alright.
It was just for the sake of having the entire battle anyway.
Alright, time to...
Waves.
You know, I cannot live in a world without you.
Yeah, again, basically
So
the... Oh, go ahead.
So essentially now is essentially resort to suicide pretty much.
Yeah, it's kind of the same take where Merlina tells him you have to find a new life. I don't want a new life, as in not without you.
I don't want this shit.
This one is a bit sadder because there are two fathers involved here.
Yeah.
And it's all just a big mistake.
In fact, when you think about it, the Shadow Lord may have been the good guy.
Pretty much.
To save
I don't
humanity.
know, Job. I honestly don't find neither of these two.
Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Neither side is totally in the right or totally in the wrong. There's just this gigantic gray area.
Wasn't the idea though that the Shadow Lord was, trying to get the prophecy done so that they could save humanity?
The idea, Joe, but the problem is that the means that they decided to do in order to accomplish this were still very questionable.
True. Actually, come to think of it, it was because of that attack that Papa NieR became so much harsher on Shades.
And now we see ending B, which is essentially seen, and a continuation from the previous scene, but it's seen from the Shadow Lord's perspective. Go ahead, Liz.
Oh no. All I brought was pain. Years of painful bullshit. I couldn't do it. I couldn't rescue you. I'm so sorry. I failed. Your father failed.
And this music, if you recall, is the very first that we heard in Snow in Summer. And there you go. That's him.
If you look to the... Oh, there he is.
From before?
Yeah, it's just reliving this past moment he had. One
Of course,
of the
the
last
lead pipe
he did as
was
a
the...
human.
Basically, the lead pipe was always the
And
most
the
powerful.
symbolism between the bond he had with Yona, the cookie.
You can have this cookie.
I don't need it. I'm already full.
But that's what you said yesterday.
That's because I'm still full.
Anything.
I had a big buffet, you know.
Come on. At least take half.
Thanks.
So, we're not going to discuss the metaphors of cookies, are we?
No, don't worry.
So it's like the Matrix Reloaded all over again.
We cut back to the Shadow Lord as essentially he's dying.
Why?
If you look to the right, you can see...
And with silhouettes of the boss when we slaughter.
Oh.
If you look to the right, you can see the people we slaughtered.
However, it's not completely depressing because...
They're all together. They just all been murdered.
Pretty
but
much.
they're all together.
And it implies of a peaceful afterlife for them.
Aww.
So, in the end, their souls can actually rest. Although, with only regret of not managing to make the project work and dooming humanity, but...
That was...
and there you go.
I think this was done deliberately to make us feel slightly better about slaughtering hundreds of innocents.
They can all be together now.
Bittersweet. Now, I know you have once again a lot of questions, but once again I will ask you to hold your thoughts after ending CND.
I actually don't have any. So I understand.
Especially because CND brought something even completely new that we haven't seen yet. So I'll take this time instead to discuss another couple of things. You see, a couple of the things I mentioned, but only a few of them. But other stuff, like the game tells you these basic informations you need. If you want to know instead something else, like who were Vice and Noir before becoming books, because they were actually people.
Really?
Also parts. Yeah, I think they were parts of the Hammering organization or the Project Gestalt. No, Project Gestalt, they're mentioned in the reports. If you want to know who Vice and Noir were, a more detailed story about the Hammering organization, and some more bits and pieces in there, how it went the fight between the last bit of mankind and the soul creatures. That's where the side materials come from. Taro had to cut away so much stuff from this game that it's all encompassed in a single gigantic book called, appropriately, Grimoire NieR. And it encompasses a couple of behind-the-scenes stuff, like saying why they decided to make Papa NieR an adult in the Western release, etc. But it also tells, kind of like it has like a basic script or of what all the side material was, and both the fan and Taro himself had said that it's so big, it could have been his own game on his own, and Taro kinda always hinted that he wants to come back on it someday, so their fans are kind of like expecting him at some point to recover this material and either do a remake of this game, filling in the gaps, or to make a new completely one that just stands alone and fills in the missing gaps.
Considering how well Automata seems to have been doing, that's possible.
Yeah, and the fact that Square is hiring for more projects. And that's the funny thing, Shiroi. Automata originally was supposed to be like a town gestional for mobile devices. It was actually Platinum Games who suggested the collaboration and everything. And we know how that turned out. But yeah, there's the fact, but sadly that's what I mentioned. That was one of the things I was kind of worried about, the fact that the game, yes, it does explain, but it doesn't explain full. And being a 2010 game made by Square-Enix, it also comes victim of the novel curse, where like countless novels made up for events that take place after this.
Let me guess, you can only get them in Japan.
Of course. I mean, some of them are included in Grimoire NieR, but others are still standalone, and they're kind of a bit confusing. The only one I can think it's officially canon is one where a meal is about a meal, but I'll say more after the ending C&D's credits.
Fortunately, we can all sing now "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead" when it comes to that novel portion.
I don't know, Pedro. Hold on, Jova. From what I heard, there have been made novels for other games, recent Square games, including Final Fantasy 15. So yeah. We're just not as prevalent as anymore. But I think the thing that can be said that has changed is instead that the novels are not completely mandatory to understand the game anymore.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Well, are they just like standalone adventures or something?
No, they're expansions of the lore, but they're thankfully expansions of the lore that you don't need to know, thankfully.
It's the kind of lore that, like, if you're interested in looking deeper into the characters, you can look at it, but you don't need it to enjoy the main material.
Think about it like the Star Wars expanded universe in a nutshell.
Here's a fun thing, though. One of the novels, which I'm pretty sure it's not canon, is actually about the robot boss, P-33, which apparently survives the fight in that novel and actually managed to go alone and explore the world on its own. But due to the themes it treats, I'm pretty sure it's still not canon.
Let me guess, the robot probably dies by the end of that novel anyway.
I haven't checked, but probably, I mean.
It's Yoko Taro.
I guess. Well, there was this kind of joke during Automata's development. It was like, no guys, this time around it actually has a happy ending, I swear it.
Maybe NieR Automata might.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll save any final thoughts, including mine, also for ending C&D, which will be encompassed in the next part, which will be like 20 minutes long or something, because it's just showcasing the specific endings.
So when's the finale then? That part?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
See you for that.
See ya.
Yeah.